Hi, David. How are you?
Good, good, good. It's finally nice to me. So much to meet you.
I know, seriously. It's so cool to finally meet you. So I got in from the Philippines last night and we had this like crazy like stroller missing and
Oh
red
no,
lightning something. So we got in really late last night. So I'm like a little bit frazzled. So sorry
it's all
about
good. It's all good. But
yeah.
a quick introduction. Well, I'm David from MAACcinema.com, and for those that's gonna tune in, we got here today one of the stars of Accident Man 2, Hitman's Holiday, Sarah Chang.
Oh my gosh, are we live?
No, 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 it's not live. We'll post it later on.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool, awesome, awesome.
So, I know briefly, regarding your martial arts background, you had like some wushu experience and all that stuff. Can you give us a little insight on that as far as your martial arts background?
Yeah, so I started training wushu at 5 years old. I used to go to Chinese school, and there was this wushu class there, and then I joined it, or my parents made me join it, and then we just continued, and we went to the school. The school is one of Jet Li's teammates.
Oh
Sounds
wow.
way cool. Yeah, and then she basically told us to go to her school, and then we ended up starting to train for like the US team. And then I had my first competition, I think, when I was like 7.
Wow.
And then, yeah, I just kept continuing. And then I tried out for the US team. And then I got on in, I think, 99. And then I was on it for like 10 years.
Wow. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so the US National Wushu Team. And then at one point I ranked number 5 in the world for spear. And
Wow.
then yeah, throughout university I kind of continued it, and then after that I started working in Taiwan, and then I was just like, oh, this is too much. Going to train after work for wushu and stuff. I was like, this is too much. All right, I think I'm gonna call it quits on doing the US team and everything.
So what inspired you to like go into to acting? Like what or who inspired you to go into acting and you know like specifically in general like martial arts action movies and stuff like that?
Well, for me, seeing Mulan Disney was a
Mhm.
big thing for me. So that's always been something in the back of my mind. That's always been an inspiration. But of course, Michelle Yeoh,
Mhm.
Jackie Chan, Jet Li, especially because my coach was the former teammate of Jet Li as well. And because I do wushu, I can see those moves on
Mhm.
screen. Um, those are all huge inspirations for me. And especially watching Operation Condor was one of my favorites
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
from Jackie Chan. Yeah. And then like the Feng Sayuk series, a lot of the Hong Kong action as well were huge
Mhm.
inspirations as well. And then it was funny because in the beginning I didn't really understand what it really meant to be an actress, and to actually go on screen and act and all that until I started doing it.
Oh,
It's a whole nother beast, but it's so much fun. I mean, it's just so much fun. I just got hooked the moment that I started actually getting into it.
cool. Like did you start off in stunts first and then went into acting or was it uh
Yeah, so I joined Jimmy Hung's stunt team, which is Samuel Hung's son, but he has a
oh,
stunt team in Taiwan.
okay.
Yeah, so I joined that for a little while, and then I realized I wanted to get into acting, and so I went to the Central Academy of Drama in Beijing,
Mhm.
and then yeah, I just started going from there.
Cool.
Um, yeah,
And I read briefly that you also train in the Jackie Chan stunt team. Is that correct?
I did. So I did train the Jackie Chan Training Center. So
Mhm.
years later, I moved to the Philippines. I had an acting role, The Blood Hunters: Rise of the Hybrids. That was my first big feature in the Philippines. And then after that project, because of the action aspect and because I'd learned a lot of rigging with Jimmy's team, I felt that some of the methods that they were using for rigging in the Philippines was a little bit outdated. And then it was crazy. A producer was like, so what do you need to do a stunt team in the Philippines? I'm like, oh, I guess maybe I need this and this. And so he goes and like gets this stuff. I
Mhm.
mean, it's not a small investment. He's like, let's do it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so then we decided to go back to do some extra training at the Jackie Chan Training Center,
Oh, wow.
and like really get get into it. There's this guy named Guobing. He's amazing. He taught us everything. Just to get. I mean, I knew a lot of things about it, but then just to get back into it to make sure that we're doing everything safely and to make sure that we're doing everything right.
Wow.
So yeah, it's kind of
Wow.
a whirlwind.
Well, it's pretty
um,
crazy. So you studied wushu with like the same, it's connected with like Jet Li's wushu, team and everything, and then then you work with Sammo Hung's son's stunt,
right,
team,
right.
and then the Jackie Chan stuff. So you got all connected with all the big guns as far as experience in the stunt world there.
Right, right. I got connected, but then I've not actually worked with the big guns though. Just the
Right,
stunt team.
right.
But to be determined, right? The
Uh-huh.
future. Um, yeah. So yeah, it's been definitely a whirlwind of everything.
But you did work with Wu Jing though, right? On Wolf Warrior 2?
Yes, I worked with Wu Jing and Wolf Warrior too. He's also from. So when I meant that my coach was Jelly's teammate, they all trained at the Beijing Wushu team in
Hmm.
Shanghai.
Okay.
And so Wu Jing also came from that school.
Oh
So
yeah.
training wushu from a young age, every summer we would go to China, we would go to Beijing to train with that same team, but obviously the next generation and the next generation. So then I had actually met Wu Jing very, very long time ago,
Oh wow.
in 1999. And then first time when I saw him on the set, he's like, do I know you? I was like, I don't know if you remember this like geeky little girl that came to train at, Shanghai a very, very long time ago. Surprisingly, remembered. And then like on the set, we chatted about, the coach Wu Bing. Wu Bing he's like the master of, the Beijing Wushu team.
Right.
And we talked about, all the people on the team, people who moved to the States and things like that. So it was really cool. It was really cool to catch up on that.
That's awesome. That's great because
Yeah.
Wolf Warrior 2 is like one of the biggest movie like ever, right?
I
In
know.
the world.
It was crazy how that blew up. I was just like, wow, because I love to see that it was on such a global scale and what he really wanted to what he really wanted to do is say, there's a Captain America. Why can't there be a Captain China? Like, come
Right.
on, you know? And
So,
I love that it was well received by all over the world.
yeah, so it's so cool because the leading man of Accident Man, Scott Adkins was in Wolf Warrior 1. Then you were in Wolf Warrior 2, and now you guys got to work together on Accident Man 2. So, so how did it feel to get the call and to join this project? I think it's probably one of the biggest profile projects for you. And
Yeah.
were you a fan of the original before you signed on?
Yeah, I mean, I've been a huge fan of Scott Adkins already, and so just to even be a part of this series was just crazy. Yeah, I love an anti-hero, I just love just getting the call and being a part of like this anything that Scott Adkins, this martial arts master that has fought all of the greats that we just mentioned and
Right.
more. Like if there's like any martial artists out there that is at the top of their game, I feel like Scott has just like fought all of them. And I was like, and then he gets to fight me? Like, no, like this is crazy. Like this is insane.
Yeah,
So
you're on that list of his now, like that his on-screen fighting opponents.
I know, right? I just still can't believe it. I mean, even like Donnie Yen, like all these, I
Mhm.
mean, just crazy. It's just, yeah, I'm still trying to process it right now, even months later.
That's so cool. Can you tell us a bit about your character? I think her name is Ling, I think.
Yes, so there's a Sue, it's a little bit cut off here,
Uh-huh.
Wang Su Ling.
Okay.
Okay. So, but there's a Wang Fei Hong,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
the descendant of Wang Fei Hong.
Oh wow.
And so she's this super badass character who's just decided to, leave Hong Kong, go over to anywhere, say Malta,
Uh-huh.
and then meets Mr. Mike Fallon, who, after seeing her, who decides to hire her as a sparring partner.
Oh, okay.
So I'm kind of like his Kato.
Oh wow. Okay, cool, cool. So you're not one of the villains out there out trying to kill him.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. So yeah, right now people think I'm an assassin actually.
Right, right. Like from the trailers, it made it out to be that
All the
way, sort
trailers,
of.
they thought that was the best way to best way to treat it. So
Cool.
I guess this must come out after the movie comes out.
So how did you prepare for your role? Did you do a lot of training for this or?
Yeah, so even like I said, I have a background in wushu, but ever since I started film, I've trained at MMA, I've trained at eskrima, I've trained in mixed martial arts, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, all sorts of different different martial arts. So um, I continued training, of course, but when I got the call, I just had my baby about 5 months prior.
Oh,
So
congratulations on the baby.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, so it was like 5 months. Just had a baby. I'm still breastfeeding. I'm still like getting back into shape. So when I got the call, I was like, oh, I'm about to fight Scott Adkins. I'm not ready. So I trained so hardcore, like even before I got to the set. So MMA and then a lot of wushu because my role, I mean, is the descendant of the great Wang Fei Hong. So
Dang.
that was like a big
But what
thing.
was that your ideal or was it the scriptwriters like having her to be the descendant of Wang Fei Hong?
That was in the script.
Wow, okay.
Actually, the first script that I got, it wasn't. They kind of changed the character around, but then it became this thing that we that was developed into the descendant of Hong Fei Hong, which
Oh,
is
that's so
when I
awesome.
heard that I was like, oh my god, you've got to be kidding me! This is amazing. It was amazing, and then it's also but what's kind of funny is that Ballad and I sort of don't really get along, but get along kind of thing. So
Uh-huh.
it's a very interesting character. She's very fierce, very badass. She just tells it like it is all the time, and so she's just right in your face.
Mhm.
She wants what she wants. It is how it's supposed to go. So it
Yeah,
was it was a little bit combative, kind of like fiery energy that we have.
great. That's great. But we're also a big fan of one of your co-stars, Andy Nguyen, and we've been a big fan of his work since his YouTube days. So, but we want to ask you like, what was your experience like working with Andy on this film?
He's incredible. I just want to say he is incredible. He is by far, I know it's going to sound weird, he's by far the kindest action director that I have ever met.
Mhm.
And what I mean by that is that he genuinely, really, really, really genuinely wants to showcase the very, 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 very best of you. Like he wants you to take it to that next level and he wants you to look really good. And I am so thankful for that because it's not often that you meet an action director like that. You're just kind of like, okay, let's do it. Let's, choreo, go, 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 go. But he's always like, we want to showcase what you can do,
Wow.
And yeah. And also he's so clear on the edits. It's a little bit almost difficult to like keep up with him because he's just so like, okay, got it. So you really just got to go like be on the go. You're ready to go. You got your choreo. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, got it. But he's just so clear, like, okay, this piece is gonna go there. Okay, let's go. All right, next.
Wow.
I'm just like, okay, he edited the movie in his head and we're ready to go.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So was he the action director? Was Tim Mann involved from the first film?
I think that he initially, but I think maybe he had another project, and then Andy. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so this is so Andy he was the action director on this film.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Okay, that's great.
Yeah. I think Tim Mann was involved in the initial choreography of my scene. So, yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, so of course we have to ask you a bit about it. I mean, you gotta have a fight scene with Scott. So so how long did that take? Like, were there any injuries or anything like that, or?
Oh my God, when I got the previs, I almost I cried in joy, and I also cried in like, this thing is like the longest fight scene I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, wow. That sounds great.
But it was funny because we were actually, I had to give up a project to get on to do Accident Man actually. So I actually was hoping to do a project that would showcase my wushu skills.
Right.
So it was just crazy that when I saw the previs, I was just like, oh my God, this is exactly what I wanted, exactly the character I wanted. Like everything about it was like literally like a dream come true. And then like actually going and like actually fighting with Scott, he's so skilled. Like he's unbelievably skilled. Like everything is just so precise. He's so aware of like the right angles, the camera. Like thank goodness for his patience. Like he really guided me through everything. And what I found was really surprising, that he is hilarious. He is hilarious in person. He is just, it's just so much fun to be on set with him. And he like the jokes that he thinks of, he does a lot of improv in the moment. He's like, oh, hey, what if we try this? What if we try that?
Right.
And yeah, not just in fighting. Fighting is more like, obviously it's by the choreography. But in the acting part, I was quite surprised and very delighted at the work that we did.
That's great. So we're definitely looking forward to that, because like from the first the original Accident Man, with Amy Johnston, like like her fight with Scott was one of the breakouts of that film. So fans,
Right.
they're when they look at this, they're looking at you, Sarah Chang and Scott, and you're like going to be the breakout of this film. So we cannot wait to see this.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited for you guys to see it. I'm so excited that that she is like a very just sort of strong, badass female character, and she wears whatever she wants. Like she's so like hip, she doesn't have to wear like skimpy, the ideal kind of clothes and stuff. Like the fashion designer, the costume designer, Jasmine Knox, she's amazing. I thought when she thought of the character, I think she really helped to bring Wong Sealy to life. So
that's great. Yeah. Great. So besides this sequel, do you have any other projects in the pipeline you want to let us know about?
Well, my film Circle of Bones is still on demand, so make sure you guys go watch Circle of Bones, okay? And we have a couple projects in development, but they're under wraps, so I can't really say anything. Super exciting, but yeah. And then in Taiwan we're building a studio It's under renovation. And so, yes, come to Taiwan to shoot something. Come to Philippines to shoot something. Hit
Awesome.
me up. I want to do that. I've got a production company here in Philippines and a production company in Taiwan. We just shot the beginning of a ghost series anthology called Ghost Doors, and the one that we shot is called Run Over. The portion we shot is called Run Over. And so that will be coming out soon. So get ready, guys.
Congratulations on that. That's awesome. That's big. That's huge.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're just, really excited for the future. And I'm just so thankful to be able to do what I love and with such amazing people. And I want to shout out to everyone inside Accident Man, Peter Lee Thompson, and Perry, Ray Stevenson, and Bo. I mean, everybody was amazing, and the stunt team, Steve and Samuel M.A.A.C, who's this crazy wushu champion, man. He's the up and coming of the in the wushu world,
Cool.
So it's really cool to be able to work with people that actually do what I do, competition wushu, which is really interesting. Anyways, just a shout out to everyone and everyone on the team. They're amazing. I just had so much fun. So
that's great. That's great. So now that you've worked with Wu Jing and then now Scott Adkins, and so what's your next dream? Your dream. What's your next dream co-star? You could if you could.
Michelle Yeoh. I mean, I'm waiting for you. The queen. You met the queen, right? Please tell me.
She's awesome. Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure she is as awesome as she seems. But yes, that's my next wish list.
Cool.
Let's do it.
We'll put it out there. So put it out there in your universe, and if she sees, you never know.
I'm waiting for you, my queen. Awesome. I'm so excited.
All right, Sarah. So Accident Man, Hitman's Holiday hits theaters and on demand on October 14th. So we can't wait for everyone to see it. And we thank you so much for your time today, to chit chat with us about this project.
Thank you so much for having me. I love your site. I love what you do, and very much appreciate everyone to go watch it. You're gonna love it.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you so much for supporting the site and everything. You're awesome.
Okay, thanks so much.